It happened in broad daylight, right in the middle of a busy intersection. Cars stopped. People screamed. But a blind military veteran named Harrison Cole never saw any of it coming. He was just crossing the street with his loyal K9 guide, Valor, when a police cruiser screeched to a halt beside him. "Stop right there," an officer shouted. Harrison froze, confused, scared, holding his cane tighter. Valor barked protectively, sensing danger, but before the vet could explain he was blind, an officer fired a taser that a powerful K9 guide dog named Valor jolted backward as 50,000 volts hit his chest, collapsing him in front of a blind veteran who never even saw the attack coming. Harrison Cole dropped to his knees, hands shaking, desperately reaching for his motionless companion. "Stop resisting," an officer shouted, as if a blind man could even see where the voice came from. People rushed forward. Protest erupted. Sirens echoed. Cars screeched. People shouted. Phones shot into the air, recording every horrifying second. 7 minutes later, the deep thunder of engines shook the pavement that a full military convoy rolled in from the edge of the block. Soldiers jumped out, pushing past police, shouting for medics. Because the man lying on the ground wasn't just any civilian, he was one of their own. And the truth behind what happened left the entire police force speechless. Before we start, make sure to hit like, share, and subscribe. And really, I'm curious, where are you watching from? Drop your country name in the comments. I love seeing how far our stories travel. Rain had washed the morning streets clean, leaving the air sharp and cool as Harrison Cole stepped out of his small apartment. One hand held his white cane, the other rested gently on the harness of his loyal K9 guide, Valor. For a blind man, every intersection, every sound, every shift in the wind mattered. But with Valor beside him, Harrison walked with a confidence he hadn't felt since before the explosion overseas took his sight. "Easy, boy," he murmured as they approached the crosswalk. Valor stopped, scanned the street, then nudged Harrison forward. It was supposed to be an ordinary trip to the grocery store, just a quiet morning, until the moment that changed everything. A siren wailed in the distance. Then another. Harrison froze instinctively. He sensed danger, but he couldn't see what was happening. Valor tensed, planting himself between Harrison and the sound. "Hey, you, stop right there," an officer shouted. Harrison turned toward the voice. "Officer, is everything okay?" he asked, raising his cane slightly so it was visible, but the officer didn't notice the cane. He didn't see the service dog's vest. All he saw was a man ignoring commands. "Put your hands where I can see them." Confused, Harrison lifted them slowly. Valor barked once, sharp, warning, protective. The officer's tone hardened. "Sir, do not resist." Harrison's chest tightened. "I'm not resisting. I'm blind." But the words were swallowed by adrenaline, fear, and a terrible misunderstanding that was about to erupt. Valor sensed it first, the surge of tension, the sudden aggression radiating from the officer standing only a few feet away. His ears shot up, his body stiffened, and a deep protective growl rumbled in his chest. Harrison tightened his grip on the harness, feeling the dog's reaction but unable to see what triggered it. "Officer, please," Harrison said, voice shaking. I can't see you. My dog is just quiet." The officer snapped, stepping closer. "You were told to stop. Last warning." Bystanders slowed their cars. A woman across the street started recording. Someone shouted, "He's blind. Look at his cane." But the officers were too locked into the rush of adrenaline to hear anything except their own assumptions. Valor barked again, louder this time, stepping in front of Harrison like a shield. And then, the sharp crack of a taser firing. The electric prongs struck Valor's chest. The dog yelped, collapsing instantly. Harrison screamed, dropping to his knees. "Valor! No!" His trembling hands searched frantically for the dog, but he could only feel the lifeless weight pressed against the pavement. "Stop resisting," another officer yelled. I'm trying to reach my dog," Harrison pleaded, tears already mixing with the rain on his face. But before he could finish the sentence, a second taser fired. The electricity ripped through his body. Harrison convulsed, his cane skittering across the asphalt, his fingers clawing helplessly at the ground. Cars honked. People yelled. Phones came out. Chaos spread like fire. And Valor, the dog who once survived a battlefield, lay motionless beside him, For a moment, the entire street fell into a stunned silence, broken only by Harrison's gasping breaths and Valor's faint, pained whimpers. Then, like a fuse finally igniting, the crowd exploded. "What are you doing?" Someone shouted. "He's blind." Another yelled. "You tasered a service dog." People rushed toward Harrison. The situation was spiraling out of control. A young woman named Elena, a nursing student who had been walking home from class, dropped to her knees beside a nearby curb, hands shaking as she dialed 911. She had seen the patch on Harrison's jacket, the faded army insignia he still wore with quiet pride. "There's been an attack on a disabled veteran," she told the dispatcher urgently. "His service dog is down. He's down. You need to send someone now." "Local police are already on scene," the dispatcher replied. "No," Elena whispered, voice trembling with anger. "You don't understand. The police did it." The dispatcher paused. "Then, I'm transferring you to military emergency response." Across the street, another bystander, an older man, recognized Harrison instantly. "That's Sergeant Cole," he murmured. "He saved my nephew overseas." He called the nearest army base himself. Within minutes, alerts were triggered. Radios crackled. Orders were issued. A report went out. Decorated blind veteran injured by local police. Service dog incapacitated. Immediate response requested. And the military did not hesitate. The ground began to tremble before anyone saw the vehicles. A deep, rumbling vibration rolled through the intersection, silencing even the angriest voices. Heads turned, phones lifted, and then, through the distant shimmer of heat, 3 military Humvees burst into view, speeding toward the blocked-off street with sirens that weren't police, but tactical. Why is the army here?" An officer muttered, fear creeping into his voice. The convoy didn't slow down. It dominated the road. Humvees skidded to a halt just feet from the stunned officers. Doors flew open. Soldiers, fully geared military police, flooded out, forming a protective wall around Harrison's trembling body and Valor's motionless form. "Step back," the commanding MP barked. "This veteran is under military jurisdiction now." One officer tried to protest. "You can't. This is our scene," the MP got in his face. "You tossed a blind sergeant and his active duty certified service dog. You are done talking." Medics rushed to Valor first. The dog's chest rose faintly, shallow, weak, but alive. A second team lifted Harrison gently onto a stretcher. When the commanding officer saw Harrison's name patch, his expression changed instantly. "Sergeant Cole," he whispered, stunned. "He saved my unit in Kandahar." Rage replaced shock. Turning to the officers, he pointed at their tasers. "Body cams. Now, hand them over." The police hesitated. "Big mistake." MPs stepped forward, hands on their belts. "This is no longer your investigation." The officers hesitated. The military police closed in, and suddenly their badges didn't feel like protection anymore. One MP ripped the first body cam off an officer's vest. Another collected the tasers, tagging them as evidence. The police chief, who had just arrived and tried to act in control, froze when he saw the military convoy. "This is a breach of protocol," he began. The commanding MP cut him off coldly. "The only breach here is your department's assault on a blind war hero." He played the bodycam footage on a portable screen. The video didn't lie.it showed Harrison calmly crossing the road. It showed Valor guiding him. It showed the officer screaming commands Harrison couldn't see. And it showed the taser firing, without justification. But the audio was worse. One officer laughed. "Bet he's faking being blind." Another muttered, "Dog better not bite me. I'll fry him." The crowd gasped. Soldiers exchanged disgusted looks. The MP lieutenant shook his head slowly. "These men are under arrest," he said. The officers were cuffed on the spot, stunned, humiliated, powerless. Meanwhile, medics lifted Valor into a military transport. Harrison's hand resting weakly on the dog's fur. For the first time since the chaos began, justice was finally moving. Harrison woke slowly, the sterile hum of machines filling his ears. For a moment, fear rushed through him. Was Valor alive? The dog whimpered softly, his bandaged chest rising and falling. Harrison's breath broke with relief as he reached out, fingers trembling, brushing the dog's fur. "You're okay? You're okay, buddy," he whispered. A soldier stepped forward. "Sir?" Valor took the worst of the shock meant for you. He saved your life. Again. Later that day, the commanding MP returned with news. All 3 officers have been fired, arrested, and charged. The footage went viral. The city issued a public apology. National news is covering it. Harrison swallowed hard. I just want to go home with my dog. You will, the officer said. And not alone. You're part of our family. Always. 2 weeks later, Harrison walked, guided by Valor, back to the same park. People stopped, clapped, thanked him for his service. Valor walked proudly, vest shining in the afternoon sun. Harrison lifted his face to the sky. Come on, Valor, he whispered. We survived worse. And we're still standing. Valor barked softly. Because their fight was over,